This week's episode of the Pretty Neat Podcast is brought to you by you. That's right, if you'd like us to promote your content or your store, let us know by going to theprettyneatpodcast.com and clicking the mailbag. I think Bryce Mitchell should fight Brian Ortega.
I fucking love that, Aaron.
I was gonna kind of say that Bryce Mitchell, when you asked if he's the new Damian Maia, I think he's the new Brian Ortega.
There you go, and Brian Ortega's number 3. I mean,
sort of.
Like, not deservedly so, though. I mean, if I had to argue, why would he be here? He's oft injured.
Speaking of the list, though,
dude, look at those eyes. Stare into those eyes.
It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It is a Christmas movie.
Does that make The Karate Kid a Halloween movie?
No,
it doesn't.
But it takes place during Halloween. They even have a costume.
This is frustrating me that we're talking about this.
Anyway.
So Brian Ortega, right?
It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast. It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Welcome home.
Buenas noches.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Oh. Wait, hold on. I forgot to put on my hat.
I said welcome home.
Hold on.
Yes, the official team of the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna send this over to you, Dom.
Okay.
Since,
what size is it?
I think it's too small for me, and you got a big ass dome.
I really do.
I think it's like a 7.5. I think.
Not big enough.
Gonna be too small, sir.
Yeah, but yeah, go Doyers.
I'll say
Doyers.
this: the dome, the Sanctum grew a bit this weekend.
I don't know. I challenge that membership.
Not allowed.
Let's call Bryce up and just have him
Yeah.
be like the co-host of the Sanctum.
I'm gonna do my best, Michael Bisping, and when he invites us to pray with him about defeating the devil,
Literally push him away and pull the microphone the opposite
just say,
direction.
no thanks, buddy. No thanks, buddy.
That was pretty wild. His whole thing from start to finish. Like,
I would say the prayer request was the most tame,
The
part
most
of it.
normal.
The most normal. Thank you. That's
normalized
the word I was
action
looking
or
for.
comment that he made.
yeah.
Did you hear that he there was something I heard on another podcast that he believed that the world was going to end that day?
That's what I heard. It was not John Anik. Is it Brendan? What's his name? Brendan Martinez. Who's the second guy for John Anik?
Who's the number 2?
The number 2.
John Anik.
Who was also very good. We should know his name, but we
Brendan
don't.
Fitzgerald.
Brendan Fitzgerald.
Yes,
Thank you.
You knew I would know that. That's the shit I know. You guys talk about different sports where like people score points with fucking balls and hoops and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. But if you want to know who the British commentator is for the UFC, who's fucking excellent at his job,
Well,
that's
he's
not
not-
Mike Bisping.
No, he's not British.
He's
What
not
are you
British.
talking about?
He's the number 2 American play-by-play who does like the
the
fight nights. That is still Brendan Fitzgerald.
It is.
The once every 2 months Anik doesn't work.
Right. And then we have like the European overseas chaps. And what is that guy's name? He used to do play-by-play with our boy Full Reptilian. I can't think of his name either.
Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He used to do the play-by-play with Hardy when they were in England, but
Mhm.
he's still part of the broadcast. Although I think he does a lot more prep work now.
Mhm.
He's not much on screen. Which brings up, right?
Okay.
Noche UFC.
Yeah.
Bruce Buffer, ring announcer. Should it have been Joe Martinez?
Oh.
Right? Joe Martinez like really hit that hits that market pretty specifically, right?
Did this come from somewhere? Did he like post that he was upset?
No. In fact, I actually think he was working a boxing match. So they did go to primary number 1A Bruce Buffer, but in terms of appropriate or correct pronunciation, he's not holding a candle to Joe Martinez. Right. Okay.
You're saying as far as you're saying as far as like the rolling of the R's and whatnot?
Correct.
Yes.
Also, he'll do the full intro English and then go directly over to Spanish. Joe Martinez will.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Man, missed opportunity.
I suppose you're right. Maybe he was already booked. We know that there was a weird thing with the UFC getting T-Mobile for that night anyway, right?
Yeah, there was. Well, they were just the second option. I'm sure they had plenty of notice, but like, still, is Jose available? Who knows? Maybe he takes Noche very seriously and goes down to barbecue with the family, you know?
So it's Joe Martinez is actually on the microphone doing the in-ring announcements for a DAZN event.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fight between Mercito Gesta and William Zepeda in California.
Which means no one was watching, so he was commentating for no one.
Well,
I'll say it. It's not his fault.
Commentating for no one is kind of like the Pretty Neat Podcast, which is this show. Thanks for listening, everyone. Segue right into an intro there. I'm Aaron. Lovely to talk to you. And with me with the beautiful ponytail or man bun is Ryan.
That's me. Hey, I'm Ryan. Hello. You can't see my man bun, but I got one.
Here's the issue.
And that's Dom.
With Bryce Mitchell's situation, okay? all I'm gonna say is he threw out 2 conspiracies, right? Now we all know I love a good conspiracy, and while I would not say I believe all of them, I am open-minded to just about anything, and here's why. People in power lie, folks. They can't help it, right? They lie a lot. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say.
Can I just say people lie?
Yeah, but people in power lie more. I think. It doesn't. I can't prove that. It doesn't matter. Just going to say.
I think there's truth to that.
Just do some Googling of the other thing that he said. And look at some of the quotes that the governor over there has had. And some of that. I'm just going to say, just look into it. Draw your own conclusion.
Yeah. I'll look into things when he talks about jujitsu or how to cook roadkill. If anything else he talks about, I will not look into.
Well, he's not even close to the biggest name that has talked about that particular issue. So you could find other sources that you'd probably agree with more.
Yeah, maybe.
Also,
great fight, by the way.
It was a great fight. And also, Pedro Munoz. I don't want to hear shit about your scratched retina or cornea or whatever. I don't want to hear it. Right? Bryce Mitchell basically lost an eye. Pedro Munoz couldn't keep going because of a scratched whatever retina.
Okay. I have a question for you after his performance, and it is for both of you. Is Bryce Mitchell the new Damian Maia? Because I think he's gonna be figured out pretty quick. You know, like Ryan Hall was figured out really fast, of course, and he's done now pretty much.
Bryce Mitchell's better than Ryan Hall.
I definitely think that that's true, but I think he's a better grappler. I don't know about his stand-up, though. I feel like he can reach the top. I think he'll be a contender, but I do not think he will win the belt.
I was going to throw this out there to you guys during his fight. He needs to get in a real camp, not one that is just his gym in his farm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. We don't know what his true potential is because he's do yourselves a entertaining favor and just look up Bryce Mitchell news, and you'll see all kinds of interesting headlines.
Is it like Florida Man?
Yeah, Bryce Mitchell explains how running 10 miles in cowboy boots led to his back injury.
Yeah.
It sounds like Florida Man.
Yeah, dude.
Here's a good one. Quote, inbred hillbilly Bryce Mitchell wants to own a farm with Sean O'Malley, teach him about Jesus and the flat earth.
Dude, quote, Bryce Mitchell versus Satan. Book it. So he challenged Sean O'Malley to a debate about flat earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
What are
I
we
hope
doing?
that does not happen. And if it does,
you guys
we not
couldn't
talk
be
about
more
it?
wrong. How can you hope anything but that happens?
I mean, this is just Kyrie Irving all over again, but just less.
No, I think Kyrie's weirder.
Kyrie's weirder?
Yeah, I think so.
My computer will blow up if I explore this. Would one of you mind, and you don't have to screen share, but you're more than welcome to for the benefit of us all. Has Bryce Mitchell ever fought on the other side of this planet before?
On the underside, the upside down?
Yeah, like has he fought in Dubai? Has he fought in Singapore? Has he fought in Australia?
That wouldn't do anything to prove that the earth is not flat, though.
Oh God.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, like, oh, never mind. Okay.
Let's
One
see.
time-
So he made a video, said the earth ain't flat and wants to be more like Bryce because he wants to have animals. So first off, the earth is flat, and I explained to you how. Yes. I don't know. The more and more I read, the more I'm like, Dom's right. Yeah, we need to see this.
Yeah.
This needs to be televised.
Yeah.
Second off, you can be a farm boy as soon as you make up your mind, O'Malley, and that urge to start a farm, that's a God-given desire because you know there's something bad happening in the world and you want to secure your own food. So that's not a crazy thought that you're having.
Okay.
So the world is ending. He's definitely a prepper, right? He's a top 10 ranked featherweight in the UFC. Featherweight? This says he's a bantamweight,
Yes,
but he's not a
featherweight.
bantamweight. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a featherweight. Not in a any kind of well-known, recognized camp, right?
Mhm.
And is extremely one-dimensional, yet he's top 10. So just that, right? If we just talk about that, he's incredibly talented. And what could he potentially ascend to had if he chooses to join like, let's say, Killcliff FC?
That's what I was going to say.
That's top of mind.
That's where he should go.
Why Killcliff?
They're a good up and coming gym. They're not
Who are some Killcliff fighters?
It used to be Sanford MMA.
Used to be Sanford.
Okay.
Killcliff as the two gentlemen who got announced to fight each other.
I'm sorry.
Luque
Have you heard of
Ian Gary.
Michael Chandler?
Luke, yeah, and Gary, gotcha.
Just in case, have you heard of Michael Chandler?
Of course.
Okay, well he's there, and isn't
I gotta brush up on my gyms.
Usman there at times? Andre Fiallo is there,
who just got knocked out by the Dirty
Vicente Luque, Jared Gordon, Gerald Mearshart,
Kamaru,
Michael Chandler,
Robbie
Ian
Lawler.
Gary, Gilbert Burns, Robbie Lawler. Come on.
I did not see that Dirty Bird knockout coming.
I don't think a lot of people did when you're 39 and you're a welterweight.
Nor did the guy he knocked out, for that matter.
Clearly.
Well, and Fiallo is usually the knocker outer.
He is usually the
But not
knocker
his
outer.
last
And in
two.
this event, he was the knocker outie.
Yeah.
You be a knocker outer.
That'd be a great
will.
last name. I'm changing my name. Aaron Knocker Outer.
Anyway, Killcliff FC is probably, or somewhere like that is where he should go.
Yeah. Or get like Matt Brown or some shit.
Well, Matt Brown, that's the other really
Sorry,
large
not Matt, Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike Brown. Not Matt Brown. Matt Brown's the current.
Have you guys
fighter.
ever had Killcliff?
That's an energy drink?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. I don't drink energy drinks because generally speaking, they're not great for you, and I'd rather just drink coffee.
They are good for you, and they don't make you shit your pants. Counterpoint.
Well, I'm an adult, so
Counterpoint. They are good for you, and you don't shit your pants.
Counterpoint.
Anyway,
adult
they're not
diapers.
bad.
Navy SEAL owned and operated.
Yeah.
Okay, so who owns them?
Navy SEAls.
Clearly, yes. It said elk blood. Oh, look, Joe Rogan.
They have 2 Joe Rogan flavors.
Oh, then Rogan's one of the owners. Then
I've had the pineapple one.
Huh. That looks pretty good.
We had a coworker, Ryan, who he would have all kinds of shit on any given day that he was, the part-timers would come in, and this one girl, she meant well, but not the sharpest knife, right? And she walks up to him and he goes, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And he shows her on his computer screen a map of the flat Earth. And she's like, "What is it?" And he goes, "It's a map of the Earth." And she goes, "Oh, that's not like the ones I've seen before." He goes, "But wouldn't you agree the Earth is flat?" And she goes, and I quote, "Well, I think what we stand on is flat, but the Earth is round."
Amen.
It was outstanding.
You should.
It was just so good.
You should look up Ryan, young Ryan. Can you look up flat Earth eclipse, please? Because it is the funniest picture that has ever been created by man.
Oh, I like how you gave me a little nod to young Jamie there.
Yeah. It's a fun one. Anyway, that was still a great fight. Dan Ige is a monster, but
yeah, Dan Ige is really good.
So is Bryce. Like, oh no.
That's awesome.
That's the fucking bar across the middle of just a little bar.
I know that's Photoshop though, because you couldn't get a satellite to that side of the flat Earth.
No, you couldn't. It's not possible. Oh shit. That's kills
great.
Me.
Oh my god.
You know what else was enlightening about this past weekend's events? Michelle Waterson Gomez.
Hey, what was the deal with that?
She's not good anymore.
No,
why was she like hunched over the side crying?
Because she's on an epic losing streak, and she's very determined to be a champion. She wanted to be the first. She wanted to be the first mom champion. Of course, Amanda Nunes got that first, but that was one of her main motivations when she
hasn't won a fight in 3 years.
She certainly hasn't,
and she's already lost to Marina. Like, this was a rematch,
right?
Yep.
And it wasn't even competitive.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
I can't believe it went past the first. She was fucked up.
Yeah, they had a still shot of her cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how it, to your point, Aaron, I don't know why they didn't stop it at the conclusion of the first round. Just terrible.
Yeah. I mean, and it's good for Marina on performance of the night. I mean, she just looked insanely good.
She dismantled her.
But there's not really much else to say except for the karate hottie train is kind of over, I guess, or at least it should be. I don't know. I feel for her. That's the hardest thing. Is I feel for her.
Look at this full fight. It went 2 rounds. It went around. Well, essentially, it went a round and a half. Right, 242 in round 2, 90-16 in total strikes. 70 of those strikes were significant.
And look at that. Like, she attempted 6 takedowns, and that's just the desperation takedowns. So of course she missed 5 of them. But
so what I also heard was that so part of this, I think, is Michelle thinks she's won more of her fights that she's lost, because she has lost quite a few fights by split decision.
Yeah, she talked to the judges.
Yeah, she actually reached out to judges and essentially asked, what do I have to do to win more fights?
Mm-hmm.
Split, submission loss. You can't argue any of those.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision, right? There's the previous win. So they ran it back 2 fights and then they ran it back. This was 2 years ago. That's 2.5 years ago, almost. Decision, split decision. Carla Esparza, now a mom as well. Joanna.
Decision.
That actually doesn't have, decision. Win. Felice Herrig, no longer fighting. So her last win.
It was September of 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Against Angela Hill, who's kind of give or take, even though she's had a resurgence.
Yeah. She's definitely inconsistent. I also think that Angela Hill doesn't fight in the most strategic manner, which makes her a little bit more exciting to watch, but she'll also get picked apart by people that are more advanced than her on the feet. She doesn't really employ a sound strategy to try and win. She just wants to fight her fight, just fight the way that she wants to.
Yeah.
So that's troubling.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well. I think she should hang it up.
Be a commentator. Like that's awesome. I think and I like the way that fighters are transitioning to other roles in the sport.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because Chris Lieben was one of the judges. How wild is that?
His Nevada State Athletic Commission debut?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's wild. And I mean, to think somebody who got knocked the fuck out by Anderson Silva is in there reffing now, or judging. I appreciate that. I do have concerns about bias, but I feel like a commission will crack on that. Like, say you have a grudge against a guy who owns a gym now and his fighter's up, that type of shit. But you kind of always have to worry about that. But no, I like this. I like when fighters transition into judging, reffing. I think of what was it, Frank Trigg? He's a ref,
and a judge.
Bisping's doing really well. Megan Anderson is doing shit for the other organizations.
What is she doing?
She's doing like commentary for PFL or play-by-play. But yeah. But I'm sure whatever she's doing, she looks great doing it.
All 6'3" of her.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a couple of other pretty good fights on the card, but also, I mean, not an unreasonable amount of duds either. I kind of zoned out through a lot of the fights. There were more exciting fight announcements than some of the fights this past weekend.
I'll give you that.
I
not the next couple fight nights necessarily, but
no, and we're actually not even getting any fights this weekend.
Nope.
Yeah, this is the end of wasn't it 12 weeks?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So wait, did we know that Umar Nurmagomedov is in Bellator now?
Wasn't he always in Bellator?
No, Umar's in the UFC.
I'm looking at him for Bellator 300. Well, Nurmagomedov is in Bellator now.
There could be more than one Nurmagomedov. Could there not?
There could.
There could.
Bellator 300 is actually a fun main card. Liz Caramouche and something McFarlane. Ryan Bader and something Vassell. Cyborg and Kat Zingano. And Nurmagomedov against something Primus. Those are some names we know.
That's Usman Nurmagomedov.
Usman.
Oh, got it.
Did you see where Bellator 300 is going to be?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you guys gonna go?
No.
Where? Temecula?
Pechanga Arena.
Oh, that's in San Diego.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
anyway.
shitty.
Oh, arena. It's the fucking worst.
Yeah. Well,
I went to a Goals game most recently, and I couldn't believe that this thing is still standing. This place is still here.
Only a little bit. If you pushed hard on it, it's It's going down.
The best thing about I'm sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
These are just the only free shout outs we give.
The best thing about the Pachanga Arena is the excellent choice selection of San Diego microbrews.
Location wise, it's good.
Right.
Okay.
You're right down the street from some strip clubs. There's an In-N-Out right there as well.
Yep.
It's right next door to Soma, which is a music venue that I used to frequent back in the day quite frequently.
Soma was the shit.
Soma was the shit.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing people talk about Summit, and I've never even been there.
Didn't you see Coheed there?
I've seen mini bands there.
Didn't we see Coheed there?
We're such music snobs.
Wow, somebody's jealous.
I'm really not. So we could for $80, Ryan, we could sit in decent seats.
Did you see the prices
for Bellator 300
for Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
Oh, show
my
with
God,
fees.
Aaron.
That's fucking bullshit.
900.
I don't like that. Yeah, that's also bullshit. Yeah, $100, Ryan. I take that back after fees.
That's not bad.
For decent seats? What are we talking about
here? I don't really know how to describe it based on this bullshit map that they have.
Go big or go home, right? VIP seating.
No, at Bellator 300 I'm not paying $900 for that.
No. That's at MSG.
No,
I'm not paying $900 for that either.
Yeah, that's for the nosebleeds. That's the lowest price.
Yeah, about $100. For Bellator 300. I don't know, whatever.
I'm gonna give me a Malay. And...
Is that? But I thought Liz Carm. Oh, yes. Okay. Dominic was saying somebody McFarlane. But if you said her first name, you would know. Yeah. Former champion, Ali Malay. I got Liz Carmouche on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Liz is on the juice, so I would.
No testing. Give me the
no testing in Bellator.
No,
not the same. No USADA.
No USADA.
No, so no testing.
Yeah. Liz Carmouche, though, first woman to step foot in the octagon to compete against Ronda Rousey. She was the one to walk out first, though. So you could argue she was the first. But I like Ali Malay. I like Ali Malay. Her grappling will be her weakness in this. Liz can absolutely crank her and kill her that way. But Ali Malay's got really good kicks, and if she can disable the legs, I would pick Ali Malay.
So you got Ali Malay. I got Carmouche. Who would you say is going to win in this fight, Dom?
Give me Carmouche.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you.
I was going to say, yeah. Speaking of, I have a new semi-betting app that's legal in California to talk to you guys about.
Excellent.
Okay.
Give me Ryan Bader here. I am a Ryan Bader fan.
Yep.
I am also a Darth Bader fan as well.
Yep. Same.
His nickname should be Master, but
it definitely should be.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg Zagano.
Give me Cyborg here, please.
Give me Cyborg.
100%.
I mean, just look at that. Okay. Anyway.
No USADA.
No USADA. And then Usman's just going to run over Brent Primus.
Give me the Nurmagomedov here, please.
He totally should.
Give me the Nurmagomedov for 5,000, Alex. All right. Let's go back to UFC.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the one people watch.
Let's go to the one that everybody knows about. Anyway, Aaron, you were saying UFC 295, right? That's the one in MSG.
Yes. Just that it was expensive, but they've announced, for that and then a number of other fights. I mean, we have to talk.
What is going on here?
I don't know what is going on with the page there. Jeez. But like Alex Pereira and Yuri. Come on. We're going to see Patty fight Tony Ferguson. What?
40-year-old Tony Ferguson.
That one to me is.
I think it's perfect matchmaking.
It's so weird.
It's so weird, but I think it's perfect. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, the website is all fucked up.
Because I mean, Tony Ferguson needs to retire after this fight, no matter what happens.
No, he said he had a 6-fight game plan on his route to the championship, and then he will probably retire.
Are they not even on the main card?
No, they definitely have to be on the main card.
Yeah, he would. They're on December 9th.
But it's also not working.
Their fight is on December 9th, right? Are they that card?
No, I thought it was at 295.
It might be. I didn't.
Or you're saying 296? No, it's 296 in December.
Yeah,
296.
December 16th.
That's the Colby Leon fight.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That one also has the flyweight first title defense for Alexandre Pantoja.
Vicente Luciani and Gary, Patty
like
and Tony Ferguson and Stephen Thompson and Rachmanov kick off the pay-per-view. That's a fun main card.
That is fun. And then they're like, we don't have anything else. We just have a main card. Hey folks, it's a pretty good main card. Okay. 2 title fights.
Yeah. Question for you. Leon or Colby pulls out Steven or Shavkat?
Shavkat.
To step in. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll have somebody else weigh in.
Yeah, for sure they will.
Bilal?
I like that. I like that, Aaron. That's a great call. Have Bilal weigh in as the backup.
Or Gilbert Burns.
Ooh. Either one.
Bilal over.
Oh, I agree.
Bilal over. Yeah.
Bilal all over the place.
Yeah.
Bilal pecs for days. Muhammad.
Good Lord.
No, but like Pat, this whole card, like I want to talk about all of it.
Okay.
But geez, yeah, I mean, because they pretty much announced almost this whole card this week.
They did.
But the prelims and early prelims too?
No, just the main card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like Patty and Tony, if Tony wins, it has to be incredible. And
39.
And then he should be done. I don't care about his plan.
5 more fights.
That's the exit he should take.
5 more fights. I'm fighting until I'm 44. That's it.
Yeah, and Patty needs to show off. Like Tony has been finished his last 2 fights and lost his last 6 or 7. Like
or 8 or 9. Who's counting?
And so Patty needs to finish this fight to have any relevance in lightweight at all.
What do you do with Patty if he loses?
You give up on that investment and put him on prelims.
He's lost his last 6.
Hey, fuckface, go back to Liverpool. We don't want you anymore.
Maybe not that, because he still brings in a ton of fans. But
I don't think he brings in a ton of fans.
I feel like he has a massive social media presence.
Yeah. Barstool signed him,
and none of those followers buy the pay-per-view. We talked about this, that is not a crossover customer base.
I would love to see the numbers on it, because I think that you're right, but they don't just make their money from the pay-per-view. So
no, that's true. And I'm not saying those people won't watch.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they're not selling pay-per-views because of his social media following. It's the same thing with Jake Paul.
Well, the UFC is not selling advertising space on the mats based on pay-per-view buys. They're selling it on viewers, which includes the people who are watching it illegally, which they have pretty accurate numbers on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like they're gonna pull in bank.
They're not particularly difficult to find. So you'd imagine if they really wanted to shut it down, they would.
Yeah. But like Patty, I think if he can't dominate, he might even step into the realm of just being boring.
Or he is the first guy to jump to whatever the Saudi PFL situation is, or to WWE.
I could totally see WWE, and I think he'd be good at it.
And frankly, even if he flatlines Tony Ferguson, it's like,
yeah, he's lost his last 6 fights, and 4 of those 6 have been by finish.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that. His last win was in 2019 against a guy who no longer fights in the UFC, and that was because of a doctor stoppage. Remember that fight? Mm-hmm. Cerrone blew his nose at the end of the first round, and his face just turned into
was a
balloon.
catastrophe.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Ugh. Yeah,
Dude.
so that fun fight. I mean, Ian Gary, Vicente Luque. I think those guys are at the right competitive range where like we got to see if Luque really has the contender look to him fighting an up and comer.
It's a good test for Ian Gary, who has so far
Really
been
good.
untested.
You know what's interesting?
Somehow
Gary's
Vicente
6'3".
Luque is only 31.
Yeah, but literally, he's probably been fighting since he was 13, right?
Okay.
Professional.
Yeah, lots of
17,
miles
18.
on that 31 years. Ian Gary, you said he's 6'3". He's kind of a prototype type fighter, isn't he? There's not really a comparison for him that I can think of.
It's wild that Ian Gary's reach is shorter.
That's what I was going to go towards. Good call, Aaron. Is like he's 6'3", but his arm length, he's an inch shorter than Vicente.
Did they measure from the base or?
This guy.
I'm just
recount.
I'm just saying.
Did you use centimeters?
How much time did they give him to prepare?
That's really funny. But I wonder, I think that will give Vicente a little bit of an advantage because he's fought a broader range of fighters, including much taller fighters. Like Chiesa is like 6'1" or 6'2". And so I mean I know he's fought very tall guys. I don't think that'll be an issue. But Ian Gary's probably also very used to fighting the shorter guys fighting down at 170. So
Ian Gary is going to win this fight, and we
How's
all
he gonna
know
win?
it. I could see
a decision.
I was just gonna say I could see this going to a relatively convincing decision.
Yeah.
Maybe, four. Well, no, it's gonna be 3 rounds, so like 29-27 or whatever 2 to 3 would be, because MMA scoring is so fucking stupid. Sorry, Valentina, that was an absolute robbery, and we all know it. Who are the guys that if we were buying stock in their next 3 to 5 years, who is a better stock bet than Ian Gary right now?
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Okay. Who else? Not just at welterweight.
Not just at welterweight, just in general.
There's somebody coming up on a.
I literally
Bo Nickel.
Okay, I was gonna freak the fuck out.
Bo Nickel's at the very, very top of that for 3 to 5 years.
Well, I would say Bo Nickel and Shavkat have a ton of potential to be champion in the next 24 months at most.
Bo, it will be the much bigger star, though.
I want to see where Sean lands, so it's hard for me to go to Sugar. Can you go to middleweight? There it is.
There's nobody at middleweight. Well, Bo Nickel, but other than that,
he's not on this list, but he's fighting on an upcoming card.
Who?
I can't remember I can't pronounce his first name.
Speaking of Bo Nickel, Ryan, how is the recovery cream?
He's fighting Imavov.
He said cream. It's good. I enjoy it. I've used it a handful of times for my lower back after doing some extensive yard work over the last couple of weekends.
Okay.
So I'm pleasantly surprised. I had to kind of connect the dots as to why the company was called 2717.
I've been wondering that myself.
It's a Bible verse.
Okay. Which one?
Something about iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another.
Yeah. And
very popular on church shirts.
Indeed.
Here's the thing, iron does sharpen iron, and iron is a pretty cool metal. So
Ikram Aliskerov.
Ikram. Okay. Oh, yeah, that guy was he's a striking phenom, right?
Yeah, he's a Russian Dagestani guy. He's fighting Nasruddin Imavov, who's number 11. At UFC 294, the Oliveira Makachev rematch. So he's unranked, so it makes sense. But Ikram He's the
we
one.
just saw him recently, didn't we?
We did a couple of months
Mhm.
ago, and we talked about how that's the one guy they will not let Bo Nickel fight.
That's right.
Because like he's the Dagestani version of him mixed with Khabib. So he's
What about
but he's a striking guy. Like that's the
Ooh.
thing is he's knocking people out.
He beat Chris Curtis, but Imavov lost to Sean Strickland.
He did. Hey, that just goes to
Oh,
show
sorry.
that
Imavov did, not Ikram.
Imavov, yeah.
what about Jailton Almeida?
Heavyweight?
Another one we might be
heavyweight.
hearing. Yeah.
Retire, right? Cyril Gahn is gonna maybe fight Sergey for the open vacant, maybe, or Tom Aspinall. That's interesting.
Jailton Almeida. Here's the issue with heavyweights, and we're gonna find out once
He's a youngin', but
we're
he's
gonna
young.
find out what happens. A lot of these guys that have not fought the cream of the crop at heavyweight, I think heavyweight is where the biggest gap is between, like, let's say 4 and 5. I think Tom Aspinall is much better than Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades is not even close to Jones, Gahn, Pavlovich, or Stipe.
Sure.
I really do think that, and I think that we've seen it a number of times now. So it's
like,
hard to tell with Almeida.
And Tom Aspinall, I would be hesitant to put just because of his knees. 3 to 5 years heavyweight with his knees being bad already.
Yeah,
that's not a good look.
And especially like you have knees that don't work. Good luck with Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
You may as well just put fucking big targets on him.
Yeah. Jailton is gonna fight Curtis Razor Blades upcoming UFC Fight Night the beginning of November. That's an excellent test.
That's is that the headlining?
I would assume so. We can look at the card.
That's a really fun headline fight night.
Yep. Curtis is getting put to sleep, whether by fist or by
force. Maybe.
So, but Jailton is
gonna submit him.
He's really good at grappling. So that's Curtis's strength.
Curtis Blades is a wrestler, though.
Do you go strength versus strength and see who comes up supreme?
That'll be like when Ngannou fight Rosenstreich. 30 seconds of just one explosion going on.
The Curtis Jailton is
Fight
the
night.
headliner for November 4th.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
And then it's got a bunch of don't care. Oh, Bonfim, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Caio Barraio.
Caio Barraio.
The free spirit.
Oh, and Vince Pichel is coming back. He's got a great mustache.
And a terrible tattoo.
Yeah.
So what? It's Bo. I think if I'm buying stock, it goes Bo, Ian Gary, and I'm including star power here.
Okay.
And then I put Sugar Sean third, and here's why.
Whoa.
I know, but I think I have a good reason why.
Okay.
He is in a place now where he has to win. It feels like. Yes.
Ian Gary?
No.
Sugar.
No, Sugar. Bo and Ian Gary are early enough in their journey that they could stomach a loss as long as, like, now if Ian Gary goes out and just gets fucking dominated by Vicente Luque, that's a bad look for him. But if it's a competitive 5 rounds and he loses a close decision, or if Bo Nickel goes in there with Ikram and they wrestle and club each other and then it's a close decision or whatever, or a late stoppage or something, you could that doesn't really hurt them. But if Merab goes in there and just cleans Sean O'Malley's face off, the Sean O'Malley thing kind of slows down.
It's derailed for a moment.
Pretty dramatically, and then especially if he can't beat him in the rematch, if he even gets it right away. So that's kind of why I say that.
Ilya Topuria?
Yeah, I just think that as long as Alexander Volkanovski wants to be the featherweight champion, he's going to be.
So Alex is what? He's 34.
Ilya Topuria is he's on the list though. He's in that realm.
Yeah.
Like he's on the list and he's also on the list.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that guy.
Look
El
at this
Matador.
Guy. He's from Georgia. He grew up in Spain. He's close friends with Davi Hamosh. I mean, what more can a Spanish guy ask for?
He's a Pisces. He likes walks on the beach. I think Bryce Mitchell should fight Brian Ortega.
I fucking love that, Aaron.
I was gonna kind of say that Bryce Mitchell, when you asked if he's the new Damian Maia, I think he's the new Brian Ortega.
There you go. And Brian Ortega's number 3. I mean,
sort of.
Like, not deservedly so, though. I mean, if I had to argue, why would he be here? He's oft injured.
Speaking of the list, though,
dude, look at those eyes. Stare into those eyes.
It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It is a Christmas movie.
Does that make The Karate Kid a Halloween movie?
No,
it doesn't.
But it takes place during Halloween. They even have a costume.
This is frustrating me that we're talking about this.
Anyway.
So Brian Ortega, right? His last win, Chan Sung Jun, now retired, and it was a decision. What have we seen?
What date is that?
2020.
Yeah, it's a long time. Paging Michelle Watterson.
Yeah. And did you hear that potentially his longtime boo, Tracy Cortez, who just won a pretty dominant decision lately, she was stepping out on him?
Yeah.
How does one do that to another? How does one do that?
Paulo Costa smiled at her.
Dude.
She slid into his DMs.
He flexed a peck or something. What happened?
Where is Brian Ortega's from? Torrance or whatever, right?
Yeah, he's from LA.
Yeah.
Carson's kind of a cool city.
Is it?
I don't know. I've been there, but I don't know if it's cool.
Carson, home of the LA Galaxy.
That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
5-time MLS champ.
There you go. Anyway, we digress.
My Messi jersey gets here next week.
Hell yeah.
The pink Miami one? Fuck okay. Yeah.
So we're settled on 3. We have Ian Gary.
Movzar. Potentially.
No. This is stock for champion / star power.
So we're going
Bo, number 1.
Gary.
Yeah.
You have Sugar, but it's tenuous because he could lose. And then
not to Cheeto Vera.
Sure.
You think Cheeto Vera can beat him?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. No. He could lose.
Yeah.
He could lose.
That's as far as
Shavkat's handicap is that he's from Kazakhstan and he doesn't.
That he's boring as fuck. Yes.
Yeah. He
on the mic, not in the cage. On the mic.
Yeah.
If he obliterates Wonder Boy, that'll raise his stock in the U.S.
Yeah, Wonder Boy's like 50 though.
That's kind of a lot of fans with him.
He's 57 and he's definitely a little bit past his prime.
He's 63 years old, still shredded.
Right, he's applying for early social security.
Yeah,
and we think Shavkat will probably win this one. It'll be a close decision.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. Oh, that's Contender Series is on right now. I'm missing it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of this. We were talking about tickets. Well, when we're done talking UFC, I need advice.
Okay. Well, there's no fights this weekend, so
there's not.
We're not really making picks.
We were talking about Bo Nickal's cream.
We were.
I'm a fan of Sweet Sweat. We've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
I've talked about it. I got Sean O'Malley's collaboration Sweet Sweat, which is infused with CBD. I've not used it yet, but I'm excited to.
Is it blasphemous to not have Bo Nickal listed on this top 15 anywhere?
He's not top 15 yet, is he?
Not officially.
Well, yeah, because he's not really faced
Who's
anybody.
he fighting next? Is that even announced?
No,
I don't think so.
And
actually, you know what's happening? Because I listened to his podcast with Jocko.
Mm-hmm.
I shared it with you guys.
I have listened to the first 2 hours. A little boring.
It's a crisp, like almost 4-hour podcast. He goes over his entire life essentially,
and it is interesting, but only if you're really a Bo Nickal fan.
Great call. Right, you're listening because you're either a diehard Jocko fan and you want,
which you and I both are. We've talked about that.
Yep. I don't listen to his podcast as regularly as I used to. However, when that came up on my feed, I was like, oh wow. But anyway, his wife is pregnant. His wife also, Division I college athlete, track and field, gonna have a baby.
Yeah, that kid's gonna be a freak athlete.
And he's taking time off around that because his wife is almost due, and then he's looking to fight sometime probably end of first quarter in 2024. So
that's about right.
We'll figure out what that looks like.
It's UFC crazy 300. That he doesn't lift weights.
He'll fight at 300.
Yeah, that's a good call, Aaron.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't like do weight training is just crazy to me.
Man, so if he fights at 300, it has to be somebody ranked.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, his next fight, you figure.
It's going to have to be a top 15 guy.
And I do think his wife is on the list.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at his wife because I respect him too much.
She's not on the list the way that Michael Chandler's wife is. But she's on it.
So if we're looking at the middleweight top 15,
got a set of triceps on her. Damn.
I honestly just kind of hope it's not Chris Curtis.
I don't think it would be, even though I know Chris Curtis would be down for that.
That's why I think Chris Curtis would not beat him, but like of anybody who would hit that fluke, it would be the guy who trains with Sean Strickland.
Right. It's gotta be Jack Hermanson, right? What the hell is Jack Hermanson doing?
That'd be a good one.
He has no upcoming fight, and he last fought in December of last year.
So Bo is estimated to have a net worth of roughly $4 million. He doesn't need to rush into the cage.
Yeah. Also, you should look at the December 9th card, the UFC China.
Not for Bo.
Not for Bo.
We're fighting in China in December?
I think it's the 9th.
China.
Yeah, but like Zhang Weili is gonna fight Yan
Xiaonan.
Mm-hmm.
That's not on
what?
It's not on UFC.com.
Look it up.
Motherfucker.
They're probably still arranging it.
UFC
China.
No.
December 9th.
Well,
but like Song Yadong's gonna fight on it. They think Piotr Yan probably.
Are you telling the truth?
No,
I am telling the truth. UFC China, December 9th.
Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just last
making
week.
its return. First reported as by AG Fight. Okay.
Yeah.
September 15th.
But yeah, it's going to be Zhang Weili.
And she's going to fight Yan Xiaonan?
Mm-hmm.
Some China v. China?
Yeah, and I think Piotr Yan is going to fight Song Yadong.
I don't...
Song is Chinese as well. Okay.
I don't like the rhyming. And I want it to stop. What's it called when the rhyme is not the last sound, but somewhere in the first or the middle?
Alliteration?
No,
that's at the beginning with a letter.
Types of rhyming.
I like how one page isn't loading fast.
Internal rhyme.
Internal rhymes.
In poetry, internal rhyme or middle rhyme is the rhyme that occurs with a single line of verse or between internal phrases across multiple lines.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, UFC China. But
UFC China. Okay, so we got Song Yadong versus Peter Yan.
Something like that. But if it's not coming up, then we don't have to go into it. We'll trust. We'll trust.
Okay, so it's just not official, right? And the UFC, right? We all know they're so above board that they won't announce anything until it's actually official and signed.
Sure.
Right.
Well, they won't officially announce something. They they make sure that certain websites get it and leak it.
Sure.
Or are we pretending that they don't do that?
Yeah.
Or maybe one CEO of UFC may make a YouTube video announcing fights that fighters have not signed on the dotted line for him. No big deal.
He's not the CEO anymore.
What is he?
Just
President.
President.
Yeah.
El Presidente.
Yeah. Man,
so
there
upcoming,
are some fun cards.
Who cares about Grant Dawson versus
no one?
That's a weird one.
I would rather go to Bellator 300.
Bobby King Green. Yeah, I
You
mean,
can probably
Bobby.
get cheap tickets to go to there though.
To where?
Apex.
No.
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 What about Edson
because it's
Barbosa's
a
versus...
whole experience thing.
Yeah.
It's like an open bar and dinner, and
yeah,
you get to take a picture in the cage because who cares about that?
Apex starts at like 1100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but like that fight, Bobby Green's getting that fight because of what he did to Tony. I mean, but it still was Tony. Like,
yeah, but no one cares because neither of these guys are ever going to fight for the title.
Grant Dawson.
No,
not at lightweight.
Not anymore.
Nobody at neither of these guys at lightweight.
No,
are getting there.
Grant Dawson is not allowed to because he looks too much like Jimmy Crute.
He kind of does. He needs a terrible Resident Evil tattoo to make it even more.
Does he? Who does?
Jimmy Crute.
Does he have like Umbrella Corp or something?
It's Umbrella Corp on his chest. Jimmy Crute.
Lame. What a lame tattoo. Who else is even on that card?
See that right there?
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
And then I think that might be a Naruto tattoo. And then he's got some Japanese piece right here.
I don't do anime.
I love anime.
Do you really?
I do.
Yeah. I'd have to find the right one. Who else is fighting on that card?
Fuck if I know.
I feel like there's got to be a good sleeper.
Grant Dawson, Bobby Green. Bobby Green, notably not ranked, and yet he's in the main event. Joe Pyfer and Aaron, I think you're right. It's because of what he did to Tony. Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
That's a war.
That's fun. Joaquin Buckley. That's fun. Alex Morono. He's called the Great White. Alex Morono, notably chubby around the middle for a welterweight fighter, yet really game.
Yeah, he reminds me. He doesn't do the same stance as Sean, but he does the same forward pressure. I like it. He instigates action. The Philly shell. He doesn't do that at all.
I like this. I like the Drew Dober, Ricky Glenn fight.
And Philippe Lenz and Ion Kudalaba. Gotta love his weigh-ins.
Ewan, just get over yourself, bro. Alexander Hernandez, he looks familiar, but if you're asking me like where I know him from, outside of just being in the UFC, I don't know. Bill Algeo, he's a good fighter. I like that.
Hernandez was the rocket ship up and comer that Donald Cerrone gave a massive ass spanking to, and then he like disappeared for a couple of years to actually train out.
Cowboy fought at featherweight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was an ECW champ at featherweight, I want to say, or lightweight.
Excellent recall, Aaron. Karolina Kovalkiewicz, Diana Belbita, no thanks. Chris Gutierrez,
he's good.
Knocker outer of Frankie Edgar's face. Versus Montel Jackson on the 90s R&B team.
Of all the times to give it up, here comes Montel Jackson.
We know, right? Anytime you are part of the 90s R&B squad, you're likely going to lose.
Well, they've done much better since I gave them up.
Yeah. Oh, so
it's just a matter of
the
Dom's
stripper
fandom.
Yeah, Vanessa Demopoulos.
Her nickname should just be the stripper. She's the one that we saw at 270 jump up into Rogan's arms. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah.
She's fighting Kanaka Murata, and we don't know how that'll go. We don't care. Mateus Mendonca, he of the blue hair, fighting Nate.
Oh shit, Montana De La Rosa and Stephanie Egger. That's actually
like an Egger suit.
That's a deep cut right there.
Vanessa Demopoulos is for sure on the list.
Men in Black.
So she I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe she isn't.
Let me share my screen really quick.
You should be able to.
I am.
Oh. Choose options to view.
I think we're done here, right?
I haven't seen.
Oh, there it is.
She's on the list on that particular date.
Huh?
Do you see it, Ryan?
No.
Oh, weird.
If you go up to view options,
let me reshare.
You can switch.
Oh, you're still looking at his. Here we go.
Yeah, view options and then shared screens. It shows Dominic. That's a pretty good shot, though.
That's a good picture. It's well constructed.
Yeah. I'd wear
I'd pay to see you wearing it.
I'm on only.
Do you see it yet, Ryan?
No, I don't care to look.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna stop sharing
That's
and
a fun.
keep that
That's
for
a
myself.
fun.
Oh, there's another good. Oh yeah, she's on the list.
That's a good card. I like this card. Yeah. Anyway, that's the that card.
She's almost a touch too muscular. Are we still talking about this?
Yeah, but like I think we'll be making picks for UFC 294 for our 100th episode.
Okay.
Which will be fun and exciting. We should have cake.
I love cake.
I like pie better.
You should have pie, and I'll have cake, and Ryan has cake. And
I'd like to. Okay, I have a number of things I'd like to discuss before we depart.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, and I mean, Elite Sweets. Do you guys make cake? Because we would totally eat it on the podcast for our 100th episode.
We like
Let us
pie.
Know. Yeah, go to the website.
At least one of us likes pie.
Hit the mailbag.
So speaking of pie, my wife had it in her head that something fun to do would be apple picking.
Okay.
Well,
I guess not for me.
You know who likes apple picking?
People who get paid to apple pick?
Complete fucking morons. That's who likes apple picking. So we load the now 2 kids in the car, which is a 30-minute thing for some reason.
It's an event.
We drive the hour to the town where the apple farms are. And every other only white person is there too. Most of the women are dressed like it's fall in New Hampshire. And it was in fact about 80 degrees in Southern California. And then the whole time you get to walk uphill to apple trees where all of the good apples have been picked over because they've been open for like 5 hours already. So you get to a little booth and the guy's like, do you want a 5-pound bag or a 10-pound bag? And I said, can I have 2 5-pound bags? He said, yes. He hands me the bags. I fill 1.5 bags, roughly 7.5 pounds of apples. It costs $40. Makes no sense for the privilege of climbing into the trees and getting them yourself.
Did you get to keep the apples?
Yeah. That was on Sunday. It's now Tuesday. We haven't
pay $40.
We've literally not taken the apples out of the bag.
To pick their apples.
We've literally not taken the apples out of the bag. It's been 2 days now. And my wife, God bless her, she really struggles to admit when something is not as fun as she wants it to be.
I understand that.
And like, it's just in the wiring of her brain. She just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car and she goes, I don't think this is a redo. And I'm like, that's because this sucks. We can say it. So picking apples, not for me.
Riley says, yeah, we don't have to do that again.
Yeah. No.
Again, it's what they do peach picking near us.
Okay.
And it's a similar thing, and I do not think I will do it.
No. I don't get it. You know? It's like, I don't even really like apples. I like apple pie, I guess, but not that much. It's like 9th on my list of pies. Maybe not even 9th. It might be lower than that.
Huh.
So don't go apple picking. Second thing, Ryan, you think that Monsters After Dark is the best version of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at California Adventure?
Yeah, I mean, the only other version would be the original version.
The standard one, sure.
Yeah, standard versus Monsters After Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I prefer Monsters After Dark.
This is your worst take.
Is it?
Yes.
That's your opinion.
It's inarguably much worse. The pre-show is better. I will give you that.
Isn't that part? Is that part of the ride?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's much worse otherwise.
I disagree.
Okay.
What's the best Space Mountain?
Hyperspace Mountain.
It is Hyperspace.
It is Hyperspace Mountain. That was a trick question. Good, you guys didn't fall.
It's Hyperspace Mountain, and that is the only answer. And
yeah, there wasn't an opinion question.
And then it's regular, and then it's Ghost Galaxy.
Oh, yep.
That is, and I actually would put in between regular and hyperspace is the. Do you know which one I'm going for here?
I have no idea. I thought there were only 3 versions.
No, there's a 4th. I just don't remember what they called it. Give me a second. Now we're going back a little ways here. They called it Rockin' Space Mountain, featuring the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, that was that. I remember that
long time ago.
Yeah.
2006, 2007. No, yeah, January 4th, 2007 to April 26, 2007. At the same time, they had Rockin' California Screamin'.
Yep.
Which was also with said Chili Peppers. And they did Higher Ground at Space Mountain. And I believe California Screamin' was Around the World.
Interesting.
Is that right?
That was a fun time though. I do remember that. Sorry to sidetrack you from the initial conversation about Guardians.
Rockin' California Screamin' was Around the
Ashley.
World.
Hi, Ashley.
So, if you never rode that though, I can't hold it against you, but that was very fun. Also, there's this thing that happens at Disney parks. I'm sure you've seen it, where people pretend to be drunk. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I fucking hate it. It was really, really bad at Epcot. So, we went
Why are they pretending?
Because
can they just be drunk?
I don't have an answer to that question. So Friday night or Friday afternoon, leave work. We pile in the car. We head up there. We were there from about 5 o'clock until they closed. We are trying to. We didn't end up baby swapping, but we were set up to do a baby swap on Guardians because my little one does not like it. The 8-year-old, the baby's too little. So I'm standing in line to get in by myself, and there's a group of we'll call them 21 to 25-year-olds celebrating one of their 21st birthday. And I know what real drunk looks like, and I know what pretend drunk looks like, and this bitch was pretend drunk, and it was annoying the fuck out of me. The way she was screaming before the doors to the right even opened, like to sit down, was absolutely absurd and completely ruined the experience for me. I'd like to ride it again, I suppose, not with her. To maybe have a better opinion on Monsters After Dark. And you can't script this shit. As I'm walking out, there's a guy behind me goes, man, that screen when they open the doors and make it look like you're looking at Disneyland is really realistic. Like, am I having a stroke? What? And he's like, yeah, I mean, there's just no. And then whoever he's with goes, you don't think that was real? And he goes, no, there's no way we're up that high. Like, are you? I have to go. I can't be here anymore. So, yeah.
That's wild. That reminds me, going on the Smuggler's Run with the Good Doctor and the Misses after they'd had a couple cocktails. And that was the best experience I may have ever had on a ride, ever.
But neither of them pretends to be drunk.
No, they were just laughing their asses off in the back seat, like while the people in the front row didn't know they were actually steering anything.
Yeah, you do actually. It will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing from me. Did either of you see that on Sunday they're doing the Jaguars Falcons game also available as Toy Story?
I heard that on one of the NFL broadcasts.
Yeah.
That they were. Is it on Disney Plus? Where it's
on ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus,
which is basically Disney Plus. Let's be real.
Are we? So we're saying that the broadcast team will be animated like Toy Story characters,
and so will the players. And the whole thing
that-
is set to be in Andy's room.
how does that work?
They
I
gonna
have
use, like,
no
AI?
fucking clue. They
why
must be.
why did people decide that's what they wanted to do?
Are you sure you don't want it?
I definitely
can't
don't
wait to
want it.
watch this.
Really? So they did the Angels, and I think it was the Rays were playing last week. You know, a team that I used to support pretty heavily and don't anymore. And I don't mean the Tampa Bay Rays. They had what they called virtual ballpark. Did you guys see that?
No.
So it took me, and you know, I know my way around the computer. It took me 25 minutes to figure out how to do it. But effectively, what you had to do was log in with your MLB account on a very specific website, which was not clear to get to. And then it basically loaded you up as an avatar in a virtual baseball stadium. And you could walk around the whole stadium, and the actual game was going on virtually right there. Like, think World of Warcraft, but at an actual baseball game. And they explained there's some sort of special camera that they have a bunch of that was able to capture the game and broadcast it that way.
Yeah. I put this in the chat if you wanted to screen share it. This is a company that does the live 3D character modeling.
Mm-hmm.
So not exactly live. I mean, this company doesn't do it live, but it's practically, for all intents and purposes,
Yeah,
like,
it's just like this. Yeah.
like I'm not going to learn to animate a 3D character. I'm going to record myself and impose the character over it, right? And that's what this company does, but in the 3D space. So I'm very curious if that's the kind of tech they're going to use, but like if there will be a delay and how long it will be and what kind of animation errors they're going to have. But I'm so interested in seeing how that works.
I'm going to check it out at least for a little while. I like that you don't have to pay anything extra for it.
Yeah. But like I see the angle. Like my wife wouldn't want to watch a football game, but she would totally want to watch the characters from Toy Story play a football game
Do you think so?
while she does other stuff. Yeah.
I
Dude,
just think it's
the
kind of
guy
a
from
cool...
Ready Player One is one of the co-founders.
Yeah. The Josh on the top is my boss.
Oh, and it is actually going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah. That's how I heard
Awesome.
about this company. Yeah. They're
So
pretty wild.
is there a trailer of how this works? Football? Yeah, there is.
That's so weird.
And you can like see inside the players' helmets and stuff. Or from their point of view, maybe. I'm interested to see how it goes. Now it's the London game and it starts at 6:30 in the morning here. So
That's wild.
take that for what it's worth.
That's crazy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You and
so
I
there's-
we'll both be up and active.
You and I?
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
not you. I will.
No, I will be.
Okay.
How should we take it out today?
I'm
had a long day of recording.
I'll take it out. You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Toy Story 4 is the best Toy Story.
2024.
Yeah, you know why I love MMA so much? It's pretty neat. That is 100% true, but it's also